some saints like her, Therese or whatever, for the most part, were pretty much on track. I mean, they had their, personal issues, vices here or there, struggles and imperfections. But what about like the wayward saints, the Augustines, the people that the parents poured out their blood, sweat, and tears? Because I mean, Augustine was a brat. I mean, full blood.
That's right.
Reading to him. I mean, he got his young woman pregnant. He didn't marry her, and then Monica was following around. I remember. I think they were in Milan at the time. And the mom wanted to go with, I think it was Augustine and this woman and the baby down to Rome to get the kid baptized. And I guess Augustine told Monica, like, hey, why don't you go up the hill over to that chapel and go pray there for a little while, and then, we'll go to Rome together in the morning. So Monica goes up to the chapel. Augustine gets on the boat, takes off to Rome with his friends for the weekend or whatever, disappears, and leaves his mother behind. And so... I mean, the soil of his conversion was watered by Monica's tears. So, what do the parents do of these wayward saints? Not just Augustine, but any ones that you came across in your research. Any stories there?
Yeah. It is. So, predominantly, most of my book, a lot of the saints in here that I do cover, most of them lived pretty good lives. I do mention Saint Monica in there. And with Tertullian, I can't say his name. He said that the blood of martyrs, right, is the seed of Christianity. Mm-hmm. And I put in my book that it's like the blood, sweat, and tears and prayers of parents is the seed of saints. So just those countless hours of prayers. But a couple of the saints I touched on briefly was Blessed Bartolo Longo, who became, this is very briefly in there, but he became a satanic priest. And it was after his father died. His father appeared to him and said, like, return to God. And that family had been praying, the rosary all the time. So sometimes even your influence, I mean, we think when someone passes away, their intercession becomes even more important, but on earth, we want to do the best we can do. And one of the wayward ones was actually St. Teresa's sister, Leonie, who St. Teresa's mother said, like, her raising her was the most, it was her biggest cross, because this child was expelled from school 3 different times. And it eventually, and she goes, if it costs me my life, Lord, take my life if it means bringing back my daughter, And sure enough, Zelly would die, I think it's around the age of 45 of breast cancer. So it did. But one of the things Zelly did with her daughter is it changed from the way she was raised. So Zelly was raised, her mother was very strict with her, didn't even let her have a doll. And Zelly was very sensitive, and she suffered from that for the rest of her life, just, being that sensitive soul. So she didn't want to make her mother's mistake. And so she was kind of poured even more tenderness upon Leonie, and just kept hoping, praying. And one of the things that led to her conversion was Saint Zelly's, her older sister became a nun, who was a nun. And before she passed away, she told her, promise me when you get to heaven, you will beg, like, because I think she was cured from, to beg God and all the saints, like especially Saint Margaret Mary, to beg for Leonie's conversion. And sure enough, after her sister went to heaven, like it was within months, Leonie had a change. And one of the changes, it was because their maidservant was actually emotionally abusing Leonie. So I wanted to put that in this book because, we often sugarcoat a lot of the lives of the saints, and to show that even 2 saintly couples, like they missed the opportunity. Their own daughter was getting emotionally abused by the maidservant, and and Zelly was working full time, and with her lace making business. So it just kind of it gives you kind of hope to know that, like, as parents, we do the best we can do, and even the saints, they missed these opportunities, but somehow, like, God, he intervened, and they were able to bring their children back.
Yeah, I think it's so encouraging for a lot of parents to hear, because a lot of times I think we think in our timeline, we think, your kid, let's say, moves out of the house, college, falls away from the faith, doesn't want to come back to church. Sure. And then parents start beating themselves up. I could have done this. I shouldn't have done that. I should have sent them to this school, not that school. I should have done more rosaries. And you just start beating yourself up, like thinking, hey, I missed the boat. But just to hear that, like, Blessed Bartolo Longo, I mean, as you'd mentioned, this guy's a satanic priest. This guy was living a life of absolute debauchery. I mean, he was afflicted with demonic torments and nightmares. And just to know that even after his father passed, I mean, posthumously, still interceding for this kid, like it's not over. Even after you die, it's not over.
That's
like you continue from the other side of the grave, from heaven. You know, and I often say that sometimes people put up walls so high, you have to go up to heaven to get over that. And so storming heaven in intercession of just knowing, hey, maybe you didn't do everything perfectly, but like, I always say, like, look, who's the best parent in the universe? It's the Heavenly Father. And now look at how messed up all of his kids are down here. Okay, it's not because his dad, he's a defective dad. His kids just have free will and they do dumb things kind of like we do. And so not to beat yourself up, to persevere in that prayer. And I often say, like, you know, that's why God picked you for this kid and this kid for you, because he knew that you're the parent that would never give up. And you might not see the fruit of it in this life. I mean, the prayers, the tears welling up like water behind a dam, that thing might not split until your kid's on his deathbed, you know, or beyond. You know, that in purgatory, the graces can still be applied. And so you just never give up. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.